Hello, everyone. Um, do you remember I was talking about the technology and small businesses, the issues? Um, it's almost an impossible task for small business to master technology because it's not just the technology, it's the data as well. So today I have an example I want to drive down that into the complexity of this and how much attention you need to give to this one. Now, let me talk about why we need the data. This is basically we're talking about how many products you can list on our own website and on Amazon. The number of products, the base dictates how much money you're going to have per day. Very pure and simple. In Amazon, there was a one period of time that we maxed out at about 11,000 SKU, and the number of orders that you're getting is just based on that, and that's not going to increase that much. And then later on, we increased that number by double, and our volume actually um, more than double. So it's giving everything else is the same. Giving popularity is about the same. Giving the ad spending is about the same. Giving your store quality, everything is the same. So we're not talking about Amazon. This is actually we're talking about our own website. We want to replicate the the uh, what do you call it, the success that we have done on Amazon and then come to our website to making sure the listing are actually doing better. Why? Or I say, how comes you do Amazon first and not on your own website? Well, there's a period of time, no matter how much your effort you're putting into your own website, the individual website volume is dependent on Google. And Google very back in 2012, 11, 12, 13, you put in $1, they can give you $5 or $7 return. To a point at some point right now, it's like a $1, you get a 50 cents return. It's very common. So unless you actually remaster that, and it's making no sense to really putting a lot of effort on your own website. Certainly, the Pin portal is the exception. Okay, now we did. Hey, uh, Shilin, can you take a look at that that temperature? Is that a 67 Y? 67, cool. Oh, can you lower 2 more degrees? I don't know. It's just Thank you. So we are putting in TYR, Arena, Nike, and Dolphin into our own website. So we got the product listing from the vendor. And so I'm counting if I have 1,000 and I put into our system that those are 1,000 UPCs, which is color size, all the symbols. And then on the system, I should have 1,000, right? Because I'm counting on my Google data feed to have 1,000 as well. Now, what I discovered is that my Google data feed always had about half of what I have on my website. And what on my website, I have about half of what I am getting from the spreadsheet from all those vendors. So if all the vendor total together is 20,000, on my system is only 1,000. And then by the time I send everything to go to Google data feed, is only 5,000. So the Google data feed problem, before I dig into it, I always thought it's equal to our data volume on our own website. Okay, I never checked it until recently. So for this past year and a half, all this Google, even we're doing well with the Google, listing, Google's, marketing, Google Ads, but it's like you know, uh, drink to someone's bathtub water. I just want to puke, for the past year and a half, we're only marketing 5,000 of the total, 10,000. So that's just an example on the numbers. So I'm trying to dig into this. So we can see that people sometimes there's another tool give me actually twice as much. So it's pumping a lot of garbage data, which are offline data we build for some other purposes, such as team portal, such as everything else, and then take those things out, then pump them in, and then give me lot higher. And so they finally get me a number that is 25,000, but I know just the 5 brand adding together is 37,000. So now you can see I have to dig into why in the system is only 25,000, while for the spreadsheet added up only on the 5 brand is already 37,000. So we talked a little bit about this, and so here's what the developer did and throughout all the process. So the first thing is that the developer, when they didn't get the images or missing the price on the spreadsheet that we got, they would skip it, because most of the web images, they don't come with the vendor supplied UPC file or product listing file. They're in a separate website, because you have to go and make it download. So I'm matching it, and sometimes making sure they're the right picture. It's inevitable. There's certain product you couldn't find the images. And there was a time that I did agree. I said, okay, if there's no image, don't stop, just move on. So they must have skipped those. But I didn't know about the pricing. So, and Johnny was telling me when they don't have pricing, they also did that. So by the time they're importing the data into the system, they already skipped a portion of it. Now, the second part is that when the value, there's a UPC component. We have in the system, we have some artificial UPC value, and you don't have to know exactly what they are. But that is where when we initially put the product in from the spreadsheet, we set the inventory to be 0. And then later on, we kind of upload what we have. That uploading is a different application. They would skip the not updating. They would skip not updating. Let me highlight this one. Not updating them from vendor when the UPC somehow mismatched. Okay, it does make sense though. However, this also is a process that they supposed to update the UPC. Now, when they are not updating them, then the inventory we have is not posted on Shopify, and therefore Shopify is still 0. So that you get another bunch of product that don't really show up when you're trying to pull the inventory and send to Speedo or send to Google Data Feed. There are other things that are case sensitive or case not sensitive. They're not matching, therefore they're not updating those variances and so on and so forth. So this is a typical situation. The third one is that one programmer who programmed the location or not location using, I'm just using this one as a example. You see there they have a space in between or capital sensitive, capital insensitive, and all of those things put together made this to be not matching. When the location is not matching, then they don't know what to do, and then therefore they did not really update it. So this data things, once you implemented a system, you think it will be working most of the time, 90% of the time, 99% of the time, it will not until you take your time thoroughly working it through the using the real data, real the situation, and then constantly change it and verify it. Otherwise, you're going to be in the situation like I consider myself to be fairly technical savvy, and doing this kind of project on a daily basis because I understand this is the most important part of the business. I still have situation that a Google data feed is holding only portion of my data and send it to Shopify. It's kind of making me wanting to puke. That's just the reality. But good thing is that we're working on it and constantly making improvement. So hopefully after this exercise, next time when we have the similar problems, we will get them done right. If you like it, please click the like. If you want to continue to get subscribed, get an update, please subscribe. Thank you. This is Shuming from Metro Sun Shop.